Hello and welcome to this video. I just thought I'd do a little demonstration of this sewing machine that I picked up last week. I've not done anything to it yet, so while I was sort of exploring it a bit, I thought I'd record it because it's exciting, maybe, and they're quite unusual to find in such nice condition. I think this is a pretty tidy one. The machine that's inside it dates to about 1910, I think, by the serial number. Of course, you never know whether the machines are original to the bases, but it probably is about right. And it's a model in oak, which is quite nice. There's some nice grains to the cabinet. All of this is veneered. I think it is made up of solid wood underneath, cheaper wood, but that I think is, yeah. And the tops certainly are sort of laminated things, but all really good quality. Nice bit of moulding around that panel on the side, and the same on this side. This end panel is a door that opens. Sorry, the fire is taking the chill off in here and it's a bit noisy. And if you have a look, you can see how the machine fits in here. So it's not like a lot of the treadles that have machines that fold down into the cabinet. These ones slide, so they are always in an upright position, and this frame here that they sit on, there's wooden slides up here and here and two around the other side. I've not done anything to this at all apart from put a new belt on it, which is not a very good one, but it will do for now, and put a little bit of beeswax on the slides because it was a bit stiff in its sliding. But we'll just open it up and show you what's what. So the lid folds back like that, and then I think there's a little sort of wooden lever that hinges out here and engages with a slot over the front here, and that I think is to prevent the machine from sliding up unexpectedly. There is a locking catch that keeps it down in this position, but it sits on a frame that is spring loaded, and it's probably too dark for you to see, but there is a long barrel just behind behind the machine, and that's got what I imagine is a fairly hefty spring in it, which helps you to raise the machine, which I think I might be able to do with, if I just set this down a minute. So there's a button on the front of the cabinet. In fact, I'll show you that first, which won't do anything at the moment because you have to sort of bear down on the machine, and it's too stiff anyway, and the spring's not strong enough to raise the machine by itself. So, but that's the idea of this thing anyway, just to stop it from jumping up. So that's not good. There we are. That's a better view of it. So. Button on the front, there's the machine brought up, and you can see, if anyone's familiar with these, this is a Class 15 machine. This was made in Scotland. As I say, I haven't done anything to it, so this is the state it arrived in. It's fairly dirty, but all complete and not in bad condition. What would be fun to do actually is just to show a view, if I can put the camera here, show a view of it coming out of the cabinet from the end, so just bear with me a minute. There we go. I'm not very good at filming things really, but hopefully you'll be able to just see this machine going back down into the case. That's pretty much locked in there now by this safety catch, and then releasing that and putting it back again. That was exciting, wasn't it? So there we go, let's take that off there. So, if I sort of set the camera up, or just show you the front of the case, the bits that open now that the machine's up, that would be sensible. So here behind this door you've got all these lines of drawers for keeping bits and pieces in. This is a drawer up here, and there's a tray in it for bobbins, and that lifts out for more accessories, attachments and stuff. The one this side goes to expose all the treadle stuff for throwing the belt off and well, whatever. These are your doors that allow you to get to the treadle pedal, and once the machine is up here, these can be pushed in. I'm not quite sure what's responsible for holding the machine here. You know, I would have thought pushing these doors in obviously stops the sliding platform from sliding back down again, but the hinges here are not strong hinges to take that sort of weight really. But having said that, it still does take quite a bit of pushing down when you come to put it away, so it doesn't seem to be a problem. But perhaps some of you have got more ideas on that. One thing I will mention actually is in here, on this little tray, there's a strange little shaped leather piece which is screwed on. I have no idea what that's for. Perhaps if anybody does know, perhaps you can leave a comment on that. I don't know. Perhaps we'll find out together. So I'm just going to set the camera up somewhere and we will put some thread in it and see what it does. It hasn't even been oiled this, so it's not working particularly well. It's not seized, but it's not a smooth runner at the moment, so I might throw some oil on it as well, and then we'll have a go and see if we can get some stitches out of it, just for fun. So here we are set up on the machine, and I'm just going to record all of this and probably will end up editing most of it out because it'll be probably really tedious to watch. So I'm just going to use what bits and pieces there are. There's some bit of material here for a test piece, and we want some sort of darkish colour like I do on there, and something for the top as well. What's that? It's a bit different. Don't think there's much of it, but it might be enough. So I'm not a great sewer, really, but I do know how to use these roughly. So these, as I say, this hasn't been threaded up before. That's not quite right, is it? Yeah, that's come through where it's supposed to. These class 15 machines are always a bit fiddly because you have to get your bobbin case sort of poked in there. And normally they sort of click in. That one's okay. That one's not quite right. Seems to be okay. There's a little, well, I won't take the camera off at the moment, but there's a little arm that sticks out of the bobbin case that has to engage with a slot up here, and there's a spring that sort of holds it in. I think these were these class 15 machines, they were fairly early in the whole, no, I can't remember how to thread these. It's been a long time since I've used anything like this. Around here. Actually, I should probably stop the video and have a look at this. There is an instruction book somewhere. All of the, right, around the take-up spring first, yeah. All of the sewing that I've done, that's fairly tight. Right, so we go over that lever, then round through the take-up spring, that's what it says here. Yeah, all of the sewing I've done has been using the 66 machines, which I think are a bit of a genius, really. They're so, that is very tight. So nicely designed. That is a tiny and very fine needle, which of course I won't be able to thread. You can barely see it. Right, there we are. Okay. Let's just see whether we've got anything happening here. Yes, we have. Right, as I said, I haven't even bothered oiling it actually yet, which I will do. That's the flywheel going around. Right, here we go. This is very coarse. Does not sound like a happy machine. Doesn't feel like a happy machine either. And yet, yeah. It's not looking bad actually. That seems to be in a slightly different place than I'm used to. Perhaps we'll take this off and just do a bit of a close-up of the thing actually working. There we are. No, I need that hand free actually. There we go. Isn't it wonderful that you can power something like this just with your feet? I think that's absolutely magic. And, you know, gain pretty good control over it as well with a bit of practice. It really is. I'm going to actually put some oil on this now because it's really not running well. There's something sort of stiffness down in this bobbin bit. I can tell it's not happy. So I'll put some oil on the bearings, which I should have done before anyway, and then we'll have another look. Well, I've just come to oil the underneath of the machine, and I probably used a bit too much oil really, but it won't hurt. And just wanted to show you this is the hook race that's been taken out, and this is where the bobbin sits underneath. And look at this amount of fluff and lint and stuff that's collected in here. This is great. So this machine really does need a clean. You can see it really is all caked up, and there's loads of it everywhere. We'll just get that out. And it really wants completely taking apart and everything cleaning, but it's not going to get it because I don't have time. But we'll just do what we can to get it to work as best we can. I don't really like the class 15 machines. I found them a bit awkward really, but I don't like the tension being on the side. It's not easy to thread up, and the bobbin's fiddly and everything, but these were incredibly successful, these models. I think they were the longest running model. I think it was 1879 they were introduced, something like that. That sounds a lot smoother. I'll show you that actually while the faceplate's off. Again, there's lots of fluff and dirt in there. There's something also that a lot of people might not be aware of. There's a... If we look around the back here, you can't really see it because it's so dark, but inside here, that crank that's moving on the left, this one here, there is a wick in the top of that is for holding oil, so that's worth giving that a good soak. You can get to it through the top hole here, or if you've got something that will reach it from the back, that's also useful. Right, I'll just finish off and give this a clean up and put it back, and then we'll have another look then. Okay, so I've just put this hook race assembly back together, which is not very difficult really. It's It's pretty commonsensical, and it's running a lot smoother now after taking that lint out and just actually oiling just very lightly the actual hook that's in there, and all the bearings here. I mean, you look in the, where's this instruction thing? This has got, you know, things about how to oil. It's got all the arrows and everything, but I mean, really, it's just common sense. Anywhere where there's bearings or friction, just a drop of oil, and you can tell the difference immediately. This is running so much more smoothly now. I haven't done the bobbin winder yet. What I am going to do is just the same thing down here with the treadle, which has conveniently reached its dead centre. That just wants all its bearings oiling. It's not too bad actually, is it, really? But so we'll do that, and then I'll put the camera back on. Well, I've oiled all of the treadle parts and the whole machine now. Not very thoroughly, well, no, thoroughly, but I mean, it really wants cleaning, so that will be a job for another day. To get to the bearing over the left-hand side of the treadle, you just got to take these two drawers out here, and that gives you access to that, but again, that's fairly obvious. And all the oiling points down here, that's all nice and easy. There are these, I should also point out, there's two, you don't get these on the cast iron treadle stands because it's all set up a bit differently, but there are these two sort of wooden cam-like things down here, and when you've got your belt on, you have to sort of turn these to change the belts. You want to just set these so that the wheel just has a, in fact there's a bit of a rough patch on this wheel, there's a little bit of clearance, but it's just to keep the belt in its groove, because when the machine folds down there's a lot of excess sort of belt, as it were, and unlike the fold down treadles, you don't have to throw the belt off with this. You only need to do that when you tip the machine back for oiling, like I just have. You don't need to do that to lower the machine down, because you don't have to lift it up first to lift up the front flap. It doesn't have any of that, so it just slides right down and the belt stays in situ, which is quite nice. Right, so after a little bit of oil, that's a pretty nice bearing sound. And when you've got a machine that's oiled nicely, it's a lot easier to control the treadle, you know, properly, so that you can sew slowly. I think that's one of the most difficult things with using a treadle machine, is the control over slow stitching, and it just takes practice, I suppose. I'm not particularly good at it, but anybody can, once it's going, anybody can race around fast. That's easy. Just put that back over there. Right, so I'm going to thread it up and have one last sew, and then we'll close her up, and that'll be very good. Right, so that's already threaded. And we'll put this. These 15 bobbin cases. I don't know whether you can see this, but there's a little lever on here that sort of flips out, and by doing that, there is a. You can see what that's doing. It sort of squeezes another lever down to grip the bobbin, so that when that lever's out, the bobbin won't come out, and you use that lever to hold it while you're putting it in place down here, and then push it on until it clicks, which this one isn't really doing that. I think it's got a, well, there we are. Yeah, I think the spring is a bit weak because it doesn't hold it in very well, but I've got some spare bobbin cases. They're fairly easy to find. That's that, and I've got some, this is a delicious orange thread on here. And bear with me while I try and remember how to do this again. And we go round the bar first, through the spring. I'm not sure I've got a clue what I'm doing, really. We'll make it up through that, and yeah. Gosh, I could spend the rest of the day threading this needle. It's a very fine needle. I don't think I'm going to be able to do that. Especially without any scissors to put a decent end on it. It is almost a miracle. Come on. This thread guide is a bit bent. That tension on the bobbin as well feels very loose. I think the spring might need a bit of adjustment. You can adjust the springs on the side of the bobbin cases, but right, let's have another bash at this. So, do we know what we're doing? Not really, but that's good. I don't think the material is helping. I think it's a very coarse canvas type stuff. It's not making it very pretty, but just take this out and that's the top side. I don't know whether you can see it. Probably can't see it very clearly, but better demonstration on some nicer fabric would probably have been a good idea, but there we are. So, Singer 15K in one of these rather smart treadle cabinets. I think they're brilliant. I hope you've enjoyed having a look at it, and I really do hope it hasn't been too tedious, and it's probably been full of mumbling and nonsense, but hey, maybe a bit of fun. So, thanks for watching, and I can probably sit by the fire and have a cup of tea now. A cup of lukewarm tea, anyway. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching.